This show is part of the HeadStuff podcast network.
Peep.
Yeah.
Your hands leave.
Okay, so
the best one.
A remote peep does not work, but I did feel the feeling.
They're attractive.
They're very attractive.
Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy. It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.
Do you know what, boys? I know yous are over there in the Edinburgh Fringe having a great old time, and I'm seeing your stories, and I should be getting the FOMO, but you know what you don't have over there that we have here? Re-Raw, baby. Brewed in Kilcool, County Wicklow.
Killian and I talk about it each day after our shows. We say, God, man, you know, it'd be nice after this just to relax and unwind in a responsible manner. A nice, crisp, light, fresh Re-Raw.
And, you know, when people ask you what you miss, and I go, yeah, of course, my wonderful girlfriend and my beautiful family, but really what really aches deepest in the core of my heart is the cans of Re-Raw, delicious Irish lager. I feel it in my deep heart's core.
Yeah, well, not me, because I'm having access to it. And I want to say huge thank you to Re-Raw for sponsoring this podcast and just endorsing Irish comedy.
I felt the feeling... Sounds like, what is it, Milhouse's Dad, a song that Milhouse's dad might write. I feel a feeling.
Oh, do you remember The Simpsons and how people don't reference it? The monoculture's gone. Do you remember the riddle? And I was thinking of this today. There was a thing they'd say in school, which was, Mickey Mouse had the house. What number was it?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I don't know where it goes.
Whatever number you say... Right, so I'll do it to you, Shane, okay? Mickey Mouse had a house. What number was it?
15.
Ha, you 15 girlfriends.
Oh, no, don't. Oh, stop. Oh, stop. I don't. Stop.
No, you said.
I want to check in on my opinions of how you both are doing. I think, Tony, you're enjoying not having to leave the house to go to the podcast studios to record the podcast. I think that suits you.
Okay.
I think you're feeling that today.
Well, I would have you know that I'm not, because I have to sneak back into this house because we have a childminder, and it's almost like I'm having an affair with my house where I have to sneak back in without anyone knowing, and I have to check the Ring camera to see when they leave, and then I'm parked outside somewhere else, sleuthing with like a newspaper up above, even though the car is very recognizable, a newspaper up above my face, and then when they leave, I go back in. And I had to sneak back in here. So
wait, your kids are with someone else, and you're trying to sneak so that they don't see you.
It would be too much for them because I'm such tremendous crack that they wouldn't want to see. I'm like crack in that.
So you're hiding from your kids.
Like you're like, I'm hiding from my children.
Yes,
and I can hear them. I can hear them sometimes. I hear them outside, and it's you know, it's weird. And it's like, is this right now, and me talking about Mickey Mouse had a house, what number was it, more important than watching my children?
Yes, it is.
You know, yeah, the answer is yes, but you know, I do sometimes, I have my doubts. So it was a good read. Why does that plant pot
look like Daddy?
I'm in a ghillie suit with a sniper rifle podcasting kit.
I want you to develop more and more elaborate costumes to hide from your own children. And then I want you to even push it. So if the childminder takes them out to the park or whatever, I want you to also go to the park just to practice hiding. I don't know. I think like maybe there's a little sketch show
I'd love
in there
like a moment, like Sonny's, 30 years old or something like that. And he's like, yeah, my dad wasn't around really much. I never really saw much. And then he has this kind of moment and he realizes all the different costumes that you've been in. You're like, wait, he was there the whole time.
That was Dad pushing the books out of the bookshelf because he was in there podcasting and he hadn't enough space. That was Dad screaming, I've no fucking space in here to podcast. And it was the ghost in the house. But I do need more costumes. Why didn't he just talk to me?
Why didn't he just talk to me? No, it was important for him to dress up as the cashier or the man who walked by and picked up my wallet. That was important.
Hang on, that childminder who had the Scottish accent and flaming tits was actually my dad the whole time. He was podcasting.
The whole time? The whole time?
I hate that movie.
I feel. Can I say how I want to check in? I feel a bit shy and uncomfortable because last week my internet wasn't working, and Hilary did an incredible job, but no one knew that happened. Really, I don't think anyone in the audience knew that my internet kept patching in and out. And when that patches in and out, I wanted to smash my head against the wall and throw myself out the window. And then I'm now in a celebrity bedroom in Edinburgh.
The
Shane
morning after the night before.
Drop some names, Shane. Are you ready to drop some names? Do a little name drop.
Basically, I slept with David O Doherty last night, and then he's gone to get us coffee. So I decided while he was gone, I would do a quick podcast. The coffee shop is really far away.
I'm picturing you as like you're there at the bar and you've got like a cocktail and he sidles over to you and you're like, tell me, David, do you still sleep with a toy keyboard under your pillow?
He actually has the keyboard. He has the keyboard there.
And you put his head back down on the pillow and was like, dong.
He does. Do you know the kind of
loungy
loungy piano music that they play? He's actually just playing that, and he walks over and goes, "Is this seat taken?" Gling, 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 gling.
And then in the bar, I sat up on top of the keyboard and sang a number in a beautiful red sequin dress and killer heels. And then
he sent a text to the person the text was about.
He was like,
and
do you want to record
hands.
a podcast in my bedroom? And I said, yeah, absolutely. I'd love that, stud. Anyway, I didn't know. He said, like, come over, do it in ours. I asked in the pub, I was like, does anyone know where I could do the podcast? And then he was like, yeah, do it in ours. And he was like, yeah, do it in ours. And they're all like, yeah. And now I'm in their house and I feel embarrassed because it's his bedroom. And then also when I arrived just now, he was going, okay, that's fine. You can use my equipment if you want. Okay, bye. And now I'm like, all right, you're whispering, but am I allowed to be loud now? Like,
I think so.
Awkward,
I think so.
like.
I think in terms of the worst things that a flatmate could bring home, actually, podcaster's probably up there, I'd say. Probably,
I prefer if you were cheating on me.
Like maybe a guy who came in and he was a one-night stand and then stole all the stuff. That'd be like number 2. And then loud, opinionated podcaster doing silly voices, probably number 1, I'd say. So yeah, maybe you're best to be quiet.
Imagine. Hey, Anna, really sorry, but I met, this is Lorcan and Connor they've got a Dungeons and Dragon podcast and they need somewhere to record it. So I just said that they could use our kitchen they just need to record it for a little bit, if that's okay. They just had nowhere to do it.
Well, as you know, it's well documented for me that if anyone brought anyone to my house, that will be very upsetting for me. No matter who they are. Taboo. If they want to do a podcast or not, if they're related to me, doesn't matter. Do not come into my house.
If they're bloodied and battered, yeah. If they're like, can I use your phone, please? I've just fucking T-barred a pole outside. And they're like, oh, here we go. Okay. Don't bleed on the couch. Don't bleed on any of my pictures of dicks. If Raymond needed paramedics
and I had to ring the paramedics, I would drag him out to the front so that they couldn't come in. No matter what.
Would you give the house a quick spruce rather than keeping your hand on the wound?
Yeah, I would leave him out the front and then I would do a quick spruce in case they had to come in for some reason. But I'd leave him just on the street. But people on the street.
Under no circumstances, take your hand off the wound. Okay. And just leaning over to try and clear some shelves or dust.
It's just, sorry, I understand. Operator, I understand. I understand, operator, but I haven't. I just haven't swept the rug in a while. It's just I do a quick lick at the Hoover, but you do need to brush sometimes just for that bit extra purchase. So if you don't mind, sorry, operator. Sorry, you're doing great.
The paramedic said he was hanging plants out on the windowsill when they arrived. Partner Raymond bled out.
People listen to every note I've learned this week. Oh, sorry, Killian, we didn't check in with you really. Check in. I think here's my thoughts on where you're at. I think you're sweepy weepy. That's what I think.
Sweepy weepy. This is my only day off for the month, and I'm doing this podcast. And I woke up and I was a little resentful. But now that I'm doing it and I'm on it and I'm having the nicest time ever, I am a little bit. I'm so sweepy weepy that I think I have sweepy weepy eyes, and I'm considering asking Hilary to just remove the video aspect of this because I think I genuinely look like the sleepiest baby in the world.
I think that's what the first giveaway to me when you appeared on screen a couple minutes late was that you were sweepy weepy eyes. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a sweepy baby, and I really shouldn't be here. And if you start hearing shee me, that's actually me, and I've fallen asleep.
And you've
We
been
were out
called
very
a kind of
late.
a druggy Johnny Depp before, you know, and now you're kind of a sweepy weepy Johnny Depp on drugs.
We were both out very late last night, but we weren't partying. We were just out late at consuming art.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
funny.
yes?
It's not, I'm sweepy weepy, not from hungover, just from consistent being at shows late and doing a show every single day. And that's kind of the state of affairs for me. And I had a run in with a dickhead last night as well.
Oh, name and shame this dickhead.
I don't think I can.
Okay.
Because it's a colleague, but there was a guy who me and Shane and Raymond were all aware of, and he was really, really annoying me. And I was tired, and I'm not a person who enjoys conflict, but
Well, we didn't like this man from the get-go, you know, that
Yeah.
kind of way. And in a collective way, it was like, hate him. Yeah, me too. Hate.
a brash American whose, I think, type of humor is to be annoying. That's kind of the thing. And it's like, haha, this is my bit. I'm self-aware of how annoying I am. That was the style. And then was having conversations with friends, and then he came over and kept doing this bit where while I was talking about, I don't even know him, never met him, never said hi, he kept going, I don't care, and then would walk off.
That sounds good.
And then would walk back,
good
and I'm
bit, though.
just trying to ignore it. And then I would be saying like, yeah, you know, I'm getting a bit tired from all the show. And he'd be like, I don't care, and then just walk off. And I got so annoyed.
It's very funny.
And then he came back to do it again, and I just went, hey, listen, that's extremely rude. Please stop doing that. And he went, oh, you're getting real serious. I'm just joking. And I was like, I don't like it. Stop. And then he just turned around and started talking to someone else. But then he did come crawling back and apologized directly to me, which I accepted with full grace, which I now am annoyed I did, even though it was probably the right thing to do. I wish I had extended. I wish I'd been more like Shane or something and kind of really stuck it to him.
Okay, well, what does that say about me? What you could have said was, when he came back to do one last apology, whatever, you could have said, just fuck off, mate. You could have said that.
Yeah, that would have been
Just
good.
get the fuck away from me, man. Leave me alone.
What is it? The wit of the stairs?
L'esprit d'escalier. See,
L'esprit d'escalier.
me and Raymond were both
l'esprit
proud of
d'escalier
Raymond.
was
We're both
fuck off.
proud of Killian. I called Killian Raymond there, no one even noticed. Me and Raymond were both proud of Killian.
Well, it's not a very Killian thing to do.
No. Why do you think it's more like me? What do you think I would have done?
You stand up for yourself more.
But what do you do a role play of what I would have done?
Listen, I'm not engaging in this.
So glad you did the wrist.
What? This is Shane. No, this is Shane.
For
Listen,
those of you not watching on video, Killian did a full limp wrist action there.
did I?
I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen.
Listen.
Okay, no.
Listen, Hunty, y'all want to take a step back, okay?
Slay. No,
Yeah, he wishes he'd done
You would
that.
have been. This is a good one. Shane would be like, "What's funny about that? Explain to
Yeah.
no. Explain to me. Why is this funny? Why is this funny?" And put it on him. Give him a squirming opportunity. You know.
This is exactly, I was jealous of the other day that when I came back from the toilet the other day, I don't know why I mentioned that I was at the toilet. When I came back to the table after having a piss, yous were all talking to this man who had just approached you and was talking shite to you, and he was talking about moustaches, and I was just like rolling my eyes to the back of my head because Raymond and Killian have moustaches. And also I have a moustache. And then Killian was like, yeah, well, you know, this generation, I guess, we have moustaches, something like that. And I was so jealous because the next time I really want someone to talk to me about my moustache so I can say, I rehearsed it with Killian the other day, so I can say, oh, sorry, actually, that's actually very, very boring for me, so I don't want to talk about that. That's what I want to
That's
say.
good.
Because I do have an ongoing thing of, I don't want to talk about my appearance with another human being who I don't know. So that would be, I would just really enjoy. I'm sorry, that's actually very boring for me. I don't want to talk about that. Wouldn't that be nice? Be satisfying.
Great.
Yeah,
be
it'd
very
be
good.
lovely. I would never do it, but I know what you're talking about. We also had a time we were in this area, and there was 3 lads, comedians, and they were talking about. They were like, "Oh, we're comedians, but we're veterans," and they were talking about that. We were chatting. We go, "Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting." And then they walked off, and we were like, "Were they? Do you think they were stationed in Ireland?"
They said, like, they they were kind of bragging. They were like, we all served. We're actually all, veterans. And we're like, okay, well, we can all be friends, but like, we don't really like the British Army. Do you understand? It's just amazing how English people are just so clueless sometimes to...
Listen, boys, you need to come to our show. We'll put you on the guest list. It's called Sunday Funny Sunday. And it's just from a different perspective. It's just what was funny about it. And I think you Paddies, will really like it. Yeah. We start with the croaker one, with the black and tans, and then go all the way...
we play out the game. If we hadn't arrived at the stadium, we play out the rest of the game. What would the result have been?
We retcon it so that the black and tans actually got out of the tanks and then won the Gaelic match and then killed everyone. And it's kind of a comedy.
What was funny is because they killed a child, and that was a silly mishap, and that we thought that was quite funny. They killed a child,
but it is. I mean, that's not. It's not. I mean, yeah. When someone says they're in the British Army, I'm not. I mean, I'm like, that's a force that goes and invades and stuff like that.
You should heckle that at the show, guys. Aren't you actually like a force that invades, though? Not so much a heckle as it is a question. Don't you to like invade?
Do you think? I think our Instagram YHG Pod is doing better because we're getting some weird comments that come into it lately. I've noticed. Have you noticed this? And there was last week we did the joke about men who have daughters and then suddenly they're feminists. And the start of the video clip, Tony, you say Peter McGann, Kevin McGahern, because they were there. And you're like dads of fathers to girls, whatever. And then some man understood that we were slagging Kevin McGahern somehow. Yeah. And he commented and was like, Kevin McGahern was very, very active during the repeal campaign. I don't remember any of yous. And I was like, what? Like I wanted to write back and be a sarky bitch. Then I was like, oh no, he just doesn't understand. But like, I think it was pretty clear we weren't talking about Kevin. And also, speaking for myself, why would you remember me in 2018? I wasn't even a huge famous celebrity at the time. So why would you remember? I was just on the marches and raising money and doing things posted on my Facebook feeds at the time. I was like, why would you remember?
It's sad,
Yeah.
It's sad someone just be like, sorry, how would a chicken would be absolutely smashed by a truck if it crossed the road? And what's on the other side? It would be absolutely smashed. How did it cross the road? Why did it? There's no logical rhyme or reason. We've got chickens in the back. There's no rhyme or reason to what they do. They're fucking pecking each other to death.
They shouldn't be allowed. The chicken shouldn't get as far as the road. You should have them in a coop or hutch of some kind. That there maybe a fox in the area.
Poultry should be let near main roads. The poultry should be kept in. There's EU regulations about all that kind of stuff. There's no reason for it to be there.
Sure, we had a neighbour's cat which was causing us grief there for a time, and he was taking the chickens, and I was, I know the neighbour well. He's a good man. I don't want to fight with him, but yeah, I don't want. But that's
the collie can go near the road. Put the collie on the road. Tell me a story about that. Like they can run around and they're more used to roads, kind of.
It is exhausting. I do find that a bit annoying, though. I kind of can't get that resolved in my head. I'm like, people are going to get it wrong. I feel like I'm okay with knowing that people hate me. There's some people hate me. I'm kind of like at peace with that a little bit, and I'm like, because you can't be for everyone. And in your life, some people just don't like you, which is rare enough. But you ever, that experience when you meet someone or whatever, and you see them make their friend or something, and they just hate you, and you're like, I didn't even do it on you, but you hate me. What is that?
Well, actually, can we get an update on how the dressing room? Have you turned the dressing room around, Shane? Because when last we spoke, they hated you for no reason. Exactly the situation. Have you won them over somehow?
Okay, so people did. There was some hatred of me ongoing. Some people are leaving, and I heard that yesterday that they're going home, and I am glad. I'm like, good riddance, I say, actually.
Okay. Are they to be changed by a new fresh fish, a newbie that potentially you could alpha them?
Yeah, but I don't want to play the game. You know what I mean? I'm content to just do my work. I'm here for work, okay? This is not RuPaul's Best Friends Film Festival, and I'm just going to go in there and just do my work, and that's what's important to me. I did make friends. I met the guy whose show was after me. I went over and shook his hand deliberately, even though we're both gay, and that doesn't feel like a thing that gay guys do, but I did it.
Okay, what happens when I leave? Jesus.
Oh, we all kiss in there. I did ask, the whole thing, Americans are strange. There's Americans in there. And there's this song, there's this singer called Addison Rae, and it was covered by Broadway star Ben Platt the other day. Sings her song called Diet Pepsi. And I was really enjoying the cover version of it. It's just quite fun and nice. And then I was like, oh, is he like a Zionist guy? Because I think his father is. He worked for Disney, and he was involved in that when Rachel Zegler was in the Snow White. And then I was like, I went over to ask the musical people, trying to find some common ground. I was like, what's the verdict on Ben Platt? Do you like Ben Platt? And they're like, well, what's the context? And I was like, well, like, I've been listening to his song, and I'm just not sure. Is there like problems with Ben Platt? And then I realized, oh my God, I'm in too deep with an American, because if I say then, like, is he like, super Zionist, or is he, support Palestine? And then I was like, what if this guy I'm talking to is a super Zionist?
Yeah.
So I actually, rather than, there's no point in me having a debate with one man, I just walked away. I was like, I thought maybe he is problematic. I think that's what I said, and got out of it.
So you did like, so you said, what's the context? And then you just went mute and then spun on your heels and walked away.
I don't care. Walked off.
I don't care. It's a good bit, guys. Well, I came back from camping. I was camping over the weekend.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Had a wonderful time up on Cratty's Lake, organised by our mutual friend, former scout colleague of yours, Shane Kenna, David Lunny.
Oh, lovely. Lovely.
It was lovely. We were there.
Was it family camping or adult camping?
It was family camping, but
okay.
the kids get down and
Adult camping.
Daddy might tuck into a bit of a vape, Kupla canny, perhaps, mayhaps. No, but it was lovely. What was very frustrating, though, I have to say, is we've had issues with our car where we have brake issues. Remember the whole thing with the whole Sweeney's garage thing. That's been resolved.
The sexiest woman in the world.
The sexiest woman in the
The
world.
most attractive woman I've ever seen in my life.
The young Sweeney mother. And so we still had issues with that. And then I put it on the long finger, and I hadn't had it resolved. I unfortunately never got on to JD, the mechanic that we met in Ivy Gardens, who said he would do it for free.
Me too. He's also messaged me. I had to ask him a query, and he messaged me, and I haven't written back to him. So thank you for coming to the show.
He did not say he would do it for free. I don't know where you're getting that.
He said he would do it, and I said thank you very much, and that was the end.
You
of the
coerced
exchange.
him in front of like 400 people to agree to that, but
I
that was
did
not an
abuse
offer of his.
Any power whatsoever. He, off his own bat, sitting in the front of the audience with everyone listening to every word he said he would look at it, and I took him that free. Anyway, I had to do it a bit quicker than that. He's out in Beaumont, JD Auto Repair. Do check him out. And I couldn't get out there, so I went to this thing. Anyway, they fixed the car. It was fucking hundreds and hundreds of quid. It was loads of money, far more than it would have been for free from JD Auto Repair. And then, as we were leaving the next morning, the fucking bottom fell off the car. The bit that protects the brakes just fell off the car.
Jesus Christ.
And we were...
Was it Andy's birthday again?
It was still a big deal. It was, so I was like, fucking hell. Because last time we went camping, the whole car shit the bed, and I was stuck on the M9, with a car on fire. So we were all a bit sketchy about it. But then we did make it there all right, and we were driving up into the campsite, and I drove straight over a fire pit and the rocks wedged into the gap in the thing, to the point where, like, when I was driving, and the whole time we were like, can't take any speed bumps because there's no protection on the bottom of the car. And then I drove straight in, and a rock just that was flat all of a sudden was curved up, and the car was now like balanced on this rock, and I could hear it just scraping into the inside.
Like in a cartoon, like it was just...
It was like one of those, it was like, those balanced birds that you have and balances on you. It was like that, And so that was a bit scary, but it was fine.
Tony, you are a man of many things, right? Because I feel like you're organized. You got your shed. You provide for your family. You have a house and
a selection of costumes to dress up to hide from your children.
Yes.
Yeah, various costumes to kind of hide from those children who you keep happy and healthy, and you're a grown up person. You pay your accountant. You're
Thank
organized.
you so much. I'm loving all of these compliments. All these compliments making me feel very special. I love that you're doing this right now.
There's this other side of you that I feel like that I'm wondering about your legacy, because I feel like sometimes this just happens to some families are like this, and you somehow have created a family like this where like you go on trips and cause chaos. And like, I feel like the children's memory would be, My dad was fucking mad. I remember we went to some camping place and he drove over the fire. There was a rock sticking up. I was like, on another night then, we went to go to my uncle's birthday and the fucking brakes went in the car. Another time then, we tried we all got sick at the side of the road. Like, I feel like, why is it that it's fabulous, I think, to have a family full of exciting things. But,
it might be that maybe when I realize I'm entering a situation where I am not the priority and me being funny is not the ultimate currency of the situation. Maybe something deep down, maybe my cursed soul that a witch cursed when I was a child as an attention seeker just comes out and it manifests in different ways, usually with the car, because that, is probably the quickest way to cause chaos.
And you're in charge of the car. So you have to be the person who fixes it. And then it's suddenly all about you. There you go.
And also,
you're all in the car and it's balancing on this stone and you're making you're like asking the kids to run to the front of the car because it's tipping one way. And you're like, no, go back over the other side. And you're running over the other side. And
yeah,
it's crazy.
Like, Indy, undo your belt. You know how you're two. Get on the other side. We're going to die. But then I also actively went, packed up all the gear or whatever, and told Terry to get out of the way because she doesn't pack very well. She does everything else very well, doesn't pack very well. And I packed everything up, packed up an inflatable mattress, which I know is flat, which I know doesn't pump. But I packed it anyway. And I just threw duct tape in the bag, thinking that'll be fine. And got there, duct taped the whole mattress to the point where the mattress, the duct tape mattress, Mick, where now I spent more on the duct tape than the mattress is worth. And then I slept on it that night and completely deflated, just lying on the cold ground. My back was in bits, but thank God I had a respite for that, wherein then we hiked up a mountain and Indy refused to walk and was on my shoulders the entire time as I hiked up a mountain, and she was dangling her pink bag in front of my face. That's a handbag. And
what does she keep in her handbag?
Yeah.
All the essential bits. A squishmallow that she got for free, a little squishy toy, a hairband that constantly gets stuck in her hair, a pencil case that has no pencils in it, nothing in it, a pop key ring that she got free. Basically every piece of shit that you would get from a magazine, my ma gives them regularly because she works in the shop. She loves to keep all of her essential bits in there. An old phone that doesn't work, an old LG phone.
Well, she might say make a call.
Yeah, she might be making a call.
Maybe
and it does get frustrating. She's holding a big heavy bag and then she'd be up there and be like, hello?
It's whacking in your face.
And I'm like, I forgive everything. But it was a wonderful time. We should go camping. Shane, when was the last time you went camping? Lunny was asking because, obviously you spent a lot of time in the woods together.
Tony's friend.
Lunny was asking.
Yeah,
when was the last time you went camping?
And I were in the Scouts together,
the
so we went from the Cubs right through to the Ventures together. So we know each other a long time. Yeah, I haven't really been camping in a long time. It's less appealing to me. I mean, we have to have a fight about a tent. Actually, us.
Oh yeah,
because maybe we'll talk about this offline. Maybe we'll tell the audience. Maybe we'll talk about it in the bonus.
Let's keep it offline
we do
for
have
now.
To fight about a tent. Sorry, yeah, we do.
Fight about a tent. So
I have some ideas.
Okay.
Well, this is too vague for anyone to understand what's going on.
Okay, well, basically, we were trying to get nice tents to Camp Electric Picnic, and then a brand agreed to help with that, but they only offered one tent, and of course, we don't want to stay together, so therein lies a problem. I suppose I'll just drive my camper van there, Killian has a camper van, whereas I don't have a camper van. Oh, sorry, never mind. I guess we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
The games are afoot. Can I just say, Tony, you said something when you were talking about the mattress that was just so beautiful. You said completely deflated, lying on the cold, hard ground. And I actually almost teared up. It was just so beautiful.
Wow. You are sweepy weepy.
And then Shane's saying,
So
I'm feeling a feeling and completely deflated, lying on the cold, hard ground. These things, they're just, I don't know. I think I need to write a song.
I think you might need to have a little sleep, babe. I think you're just a bit sleepy.
Shane, get
it's better to lie on
DOTs.
at least you had some. What? It's not so much about the comfort when you're camping. It's actually just the line of insulation between you and the ground. So even that airbed would have kept you a bit warmer than you would have been had you been lying just on the bare ground or on the bare bottom of the tent. So that is important to remember. That's why even whatever you have, even a yoga mat, something like that, throw that down. Might not be as nice as the inflatable jobs, but it would do the trick nicely.
Mm-hmm. I got one. Well, the kids slept on a nice flat, self-inflating. It says, which it does not mean self-inflating. It means you inflate it with your mouth. And
you're the self.
I'm the self. Yeah. So it's very meta. It's very kind of, it's almost like a weird kind of like philosophy question. Am I the self? Am I the self in this mattress? And so I had to blow theirs up as well. And that was that's actually very boring. Actually,
can I ask? Were you camping wild or were you camping in a campsite?
I was camping in a campsite, and there was a very nice man who he was a dote of a man, which is a term that I love, and I think men should use that more. I think men should identify as dotes on their Hinge profile. Should say things like, "I'm a harmless dote of a man."
I think that would be very off-putting to a woman if she read a man describe himself as he's like, "Oh, you know me, I'm just a little dote." Like that would be quite frightening. Actually,
I'm harmless.
That would be a block from me if I was a young lady out looking for a suitor and he said, don't worry about me. Sure, I'm only a little dote. I would be absolutely terrified. I'd ring my dad and I'd be like, "Dad, can you stay with me for a few weeks?" I would like it.
Dad, can you pick me up? I'm at a campsite with a dote, self-identifying dote. No, he's a very nice man, and he was, and it was nice. There was like, he had his hot water out there in the reception, and they had a toilet there, and he was so nice. He was like, "Now listen, there's no showers, but that's my house, and you can knock in 24 hours a day, and you can have a shower in my house."
What?
He was just being nice. He was genuinely. It wasn't a kind of like, "I want to see you shower." It wasn't that kind of vibe.
Yeah, he's a dote. But
he was a dote. He was harmless.
If you went there at 4 a.m?
I mean, I didn't try it. I'm like ding dong, and then he's not answering, and I'm like, "Let's see how much of a dote you are." Dum, 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 dum. Dum, 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 dum. But he was nice. He left out like sweets and biscuits and bits, and he said, "Now look, we were fucking wrecked at this point." He was a very nice man, but we've been driving for so long, and the kids have been asking, "Are we there yet?" Like for the last hour. And it felt like there was like 3 hours that we were driving in that 1 hour. So then when he arrived, we were like, "We need to just fucking get out of this car now. The kids are screaming." And he was like, "Now listen, there's the facilities." And he was just, I hadn't reacclimatized. I'm still on my Dublin vibes. You know what I mean? I'm sure he's there. He's a Waterford guy, and he's kind of like, "These bloody dubs, they're always in a bloody rush, But the kids are screaming. He's like, "Now look, there's a tip jar there. Do not, under any circumstances, put any money in it. Don't worry about that. I know it's money in there. You might take some jellies." And the kid's like, you might take a biscuit. All right, you might take a cup of tea. You might have "Let me out." Yeah. But do not, under any circumstances, put any money in it. Okay? We're on, spend more time talking about not putting money in it than any of the facilities,
I really like this man. You know what? Actually, do you know what? I'm really enjoying your interpretation of him. And actually, you know what? He sounds like a dote.
He was a dote, like, yeah. Actually, I suppose he was.
What a dote.
Like,
can we get age profile and a visual description of the man, please?
I would say he was maybe 60.
Okay.
I would say he looked lean, a bit tall, grey, had a good outdoory kind of jacket on him.
Okay.
His young fella was knocking around as well, and they were
something about, because we've been talking about you having so many costumes. I can't help but imagine this as you, but in a costume now.
Well, I was wearing the Groucho Marx one that I wear every single day, which is actually backfired, to be honest, because this Groucho Marx costume that I wear every day with the glasses and the nose and the mustache, now people just associate with me, and it's kind of ruined it. But when I take it off, I don't look anything like this. But anyway, so I was
What
wearing
age does a man become a dote? The 60s kind of like the start of it, isn't it?
I think it's more. I think you could see a man in his 40s, maybe just he's a bit more chill, a bit relaxed, unflappable, just maybe a bit caring.
I think maybe the man
could be a 40s dote.
A gentle guy who works in gentle and patient who maybe works in the IT desk, he might be a dote. And you say, oh, ring down to your man. Don't even raise a ticket. Just ring down to your man, Paul. He's an absolute dote. He could be a dote if he'd be really patient with people who are like, my emails are gone, Paul. And he'd be like, if you just open your email, there they are. And like, what a dote. Oh, Paul, you're a dote.
And they go down to the hall, and he's always got his headphones on, and they tap on his shoulder, and he takes his headphones off, and for a second you just hear the sound of it. Sound of people screaming with like double kick drums. Oh, what is it now? You all right? I'll get that for sorted for you straight away. Absolutely.
Bring him some
and look, if you want to
Jaffa
have
cakes,
some jellies there, there's a tip there. You don't put any money.
People really listen to what we say on this podcast, Sometimes I get scared of that. There was somebody came out of my show here in the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in Edinburgh in Scotland, and people came out of the show, and she said, I can't remember if it was a man or woman. I totally forgotten. I don't really see gender, but they said, I really love the podcast too. And I said, oh, thank you very much, and thanks for coming. I said, I know comedians like to hear that, and I was like, yeah. And I was like, did I say that on this podcast? The stuff that you say, I do forget. Like, or people ask for what I said about if you do your show and people ask for a picture after your show. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, every time. Of course, I'll say yes to that. It's like part of it, as far as I'm concerned. Not that anyone's been taking a picture of me at all at this festival. No one's asked me for a picture. No one is. I'm concerned.
Maybe because they know you like it, and maybe they're just trying to purposely, hurt you. So maybe it's because everyone listens, just be like, guys, please don't bother me after the show, okay? It takes me a while to taper out.
That's not.
I just need to. Please don't. And then now they'll get photos of you.
I don't take a while to taper out. I actually bounce back pretty quick. I like Killian and I are back to back. I do enjoy the bit, not for this reason, but Killian bounces in after his show, and by the time he's got from the stage to the door, sometimes he's already taken his full shirt off, and he's just kind of like, it's like a post-football match. He's like, yeah. He kind of comes in like that, and it's like sometimes you'll be wearing a shirt, but sometimes you've taken it off already, like in seconds between the stage and door. And I just think,
we went for observational in the first half, a lot of observational. My act outs, they weren't really doing it, so in the second half, tried to kind of change it up a bit. I had Shane in the back there coaching me, and he said what I need to do is a few more one-liners, and then finally one-liners and just a bit more punchy and high energy, and we managed to get there in the end. And
you had someone there in the front, and they wouldn't be maybe familiar with the Richard Boyd Barrett. Now, how did you manage that one, Killian?
Yeah, I had to change the references a lot. They didn't really get them, and like my Nazi joke, they quite like that. I think they think the German accent is funny, so I really up that. I up that with my dad and stuff like that. But overall, we go again tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, we have Al Porter here. Al, what was it like when you were playing? Did you ever encounter anything like that in your tenure at the Fringe?
Have I to play Al Porter?
No, you don't have to be Al Porter. I wasn't going to do him.
Hilary, cut that out. I will say, we do many little voices and jokes on this podcast, and I panicked there and I couldn't get involved. And it was a very exciting joke from you, Killian. So well done to you on that. And I commend you. Tony, you hopped right on board. But I'm sorry. I feel like I let you both down there. I said nothing. And I said, listeners, I said nothing to them as well.
It's the environment, Shane. You're in DOD's bedroom. Come on, you can't be doing. You know what I mean? You can't be doing silly voices there.
I thought I was in a living room. I thought I'd be in a living
Nish
room. Nish
lying in the room with you?
Nish is not here.
Oh,
well, he's not in this bedroom, but I assume he's in his own bedroom.
And you said you thought it was going to be a living room. At what point did you realise it was a bedroom? Was it when you saw the bed?
Well, when I reached the house, I was like, they have these, at Edinburgh at some point, the Queen housed the people or whatever. So they built these giant tenements, not tenements like what we call tenements. They have like big giant houses with lovely big flats that are nice. And they're still here because they were built correctly. So it's not like when we built the flats in the 60s and then knocked them all down, even though they were fine. Anyway, so they're nice flats. So I thought it was a house as opposed to a tenement house. So it is a lovely flat. And they're lovely and big and spacious and very high ceilings. I don't know if anyone watching that can see. I mean, that ceiling is so high.
She had a great eye, the Queen, for high ceilings. I mean, she was always reading Country Living magazine, and she said, "Oh, I want all the Scots to be in."
She was a huge fan of Grand Designs, and she always loved when it went over budget. And she used to laugh at the ignorant people at the start when they said, we're really getting this done for 250 grand, and we plan to have it done in the year. And she would laugh because she said, of course that's not going to happen.
I recall Her Majesty she would place bets as to when the homeowner would announce the pregnancy, such as the custom of the show. And she would say, part 2, Philip, this time. And with small wager, we would just bet on the economy of some of the colonies. But yes, really, she was, such a special lady, and really was so dedicated to service, wasn't she, the Queen? Her Majesty was so dedicated to service.
And they used to watch. They used to watch Grand Designs, and the whole family would be there. And then Harry brought his new girlfriend over, and she just kept saying, "This is shit." Megan was her name, and she said, "This is shit. Can you put on Suits? Can you put on the show Suits?" And Her Majesty didn't appreciate that very much because she loved Grand Designs, you see.
What was I talking about?
I don't know.
The high ceilings, the tenements.
The high ceilings, which is such a man thing to comment on. Very high ceilings.
Fuck off.
No, I say it too.
Do you know what? I did catch myself being... So my brother texted into the family WhatsApp group about some kind of car road event on the canal where there's an overturned car, not in the canal, but at the canal. We all lived, my family lived all quite close to the canal. And I was like, ooh, he didn't have any pictures because he was just driving by. And he said, it looked like there was a chase. And it must have been a chase because the car was overturned and you can't drive that fast at that part of the canal. Anyway, and then I have a friend who lives on that side of the canal. And I texted him, he's Scottish, which is funny because I'm in Scotland.
That's funny.
And I texted him and I said, did you see anything about an overturned car or a chase or anything out on the thing? And he just wrote back and said, no, I was out doing things. Also, this is the most Irish dad message I've ever received. And then I realized, he said, you didn't even say hi or anything. You just came in, did you see an overturned car? And I think I used the expression down your way. Like, I'm supposed to be gay even. Like, am I even gay?
No, so straight.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the straightest message ever.
The only thing is I have a boyfriend. That's it. But sometimes straight people have boyfriends now as well. So that's kind of like, and they don't say that they're a bisexual or anything. So maybe am I straight? Like,
culturally, it's possible. It's possible.
I think very
what about my love
much
of the
so.
arts and high ceilings?
You're a perfect blend. You're like the exact middle of a mom and dad. Like you're somewhere, you're like, you have both attributes. You're like,
oh no,
you're like a parent hermaphrodite or something. Like you're just, you're
I'm not a mom and dad like you and Terry are mom and dad. Mom and dad like our moms and dads.
That's true.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
You're a generation back.
Yeah. You're like parent fluid or something. Do you know what I mean? Like you kind of blend in between.
I don't even have any kids of my own, Tony.
I know. Well, you've taken on the best attributes. I'll tell you exactly what happened to that overturned car. There are no jacks down by the barge, guys. We're not going to be having our cans in the sun. If we can't have our cans in the sun, this is what's going to happen. They're going to be flipping cars and pissing in the gearbox. Okay, that's what's going to happen.
That has shaken me to my core. You're the middle, what was it? The middle ground between a mom and a dad.
Perfect middle line between a mom and a dad.
Jesus Christ.
You did look out the window there, Shane, in a very like husband is off at war kind of look, where I'm like, oh, is he okay?
Killian, what I was noticing was black marks on the buildings across the way, and I wondered, was it damp on the inside? Okay, that's what I was doing.
This is what's okay.
That's
Killian
dad.
points out the fact that you notice high ceilings, and you said, "Fuck off," and then not only like delivered that perfect anecdote example, but then you're also looking at the fucking mold outside.
Like while in a conversation, I'm actually recording a podcast at the moment, but I'm still checking out across the way there. I'm wondering about
Shane's going to knock in. Is that? Are you aware of that? Because I had that. That's black mold. You're going to need to call a guy. I know what to do. Basically, vinegar. Get vinegar. Smear. Get the young lad to do it. Put him up on a ladder. It'll be grand.
Yeah,
Killian, will you please tell me how to get chia seeds out of a fucking scrub daddy? Please, because I'm getting them and I'm not Googling it. I know I'm I just need you to tell me what you
Did we not
do.
already cover this topic on this
You
podcast?
didn't tell me how to do it.
I did tell
So
you.
I'm saying,
It's so simple.
go on.
Yeah, I told you already.
Tell me.
Man, it's so simple, honestly.
Yeah, Tony, it's easy to get chia seeds
It's
out of
easy to get
scrub
chia
daddy.
seeds out of your thing. Like, just, like I told you, I think I already told you in the last episode, just listen to that.
She ain't gonna want to listen back to this shite. I'm hiding from my kids.
Okay, I'll tell you, Tony. I'll tell you.
Okay.
You put it in the dishwasher.
Is that
Apparently
it?
that's what you do. Yeah. Put it in the dishwasher.
This is wonderful news. Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Is there anything you'd like to know?
I'd like to know, do chia seeds change your life? Like, what can I would like to change my life with minimal effort. I'm aware this is the whatever millennial problem, whatever, but I would like, I need to know something that will just, maybe I could set up a podcast series where, you know that woman on TikTok, show me the life hack that's become unconscious part. I want like, not life hacks. I don't believe in life hacks. There is no, and they watch those videos of like, when I go to the airport, I get a plastic bag and then I cut a hole in the center of the plastic bag and then I put the kids in the hole and then I put them in the rucksack. Like, this is not helpful. So, but I would like something, I would like to know like, every day I do this, because I was taking like Barocca style things, zincs, all this kind of stuff. And I got about 5 colds this year and it's August. There's still several months to go and winter is some of those. So I'm like, I don't believe in, I'm like, you're all liars. Like,
But that Irish lad who lived to 103, he said that he eats a bowl of custard every day. So I'm going to give that one a go.
Does he?
That's what he said, Jay. He's, I eat a bowl of custard every day. That's my secret. It's like, that's not your secret, man.
He could have pulled that one out. He could have been like, I watch Turner classic movies. I love James Cagney, and that's how I live for 100. Like any part of the routine.
Yeah.
Why is that the thing? Maybe it's a bit of an, it's about
I haven't spoken to my
appreciating.
son in 30 years, and that's really kept me, that's good me good.
He was a constant source of grief. He was always crashing the car and driving on rocks and going camping with the thing, and it was always popped. And ever since I've cut him out of my life, it's just lived a long time. Yeah, life hack. It's hard for you, Shane, because you're allergic both to life hacks and like quotes, and those are the only kind of forms of knowledge I take in.
I'm unmotivatable.
You are unmotivatable.
I know what I want, but I don't know how to get there.
Well, I think what you need, to be honest, is you're motivated once you have the idea and once the switch goes. Once the switch goes, you're off like the fucking clappers. But it can only ever come from you. So I don't know if you've seen the film Inception, but there's a service that these guys provide where they'll go into your head and give you an idea that is like your own idea. So maybe you just need your own idea for whatever you need, someone to visit you in your dreams. In fact, you know what? Fall asleep in David's bed. It's pretty cheap, right? You just fall asleep in David's bed, send him a text and say, whisper ideas into my ear when I'm falling asleep on your keyboard tonight. And then there'll be my own.
Keyboard is not in here. I told you, I looked for it.
Imagine
But
David playing
chia seeds are not
Inception
the
ideas, little songs. Wake up at 7 a.m., go to bed before 10 p.m., have chia seeds pudding in the morning.
That's beautiful. It will change your life. I think
I
it's
was
sleep and
telling
water,
Killian
isn't
the
it?
other day that I want to do more. Do you remember I was saying I want to do mad stuff? I'm good at advising other people.
Oh, yeah.
You were saying Killian went to go see comedian from the north of Ireland, David O Doherty's show.
David O'Doherty.
And so did Raymond at different times. And they both
Great show.
said it was
Wonderful
excellent.
comedian.
So well done to Diona. Happy for her. And don't know why I said that. I literally no beef with her. She's a perfectly nice woman. But she mentioned in the show about going on silent retreats. Is that what she said?
Yeah, she went on silent retreat.
I need to start. I've resisted this. I've resisted things like that, like when you're a comedian, like here in the UK, right? They all talk like as if they're making a contemporary live art theatre performance in the national, you know what I mean? That's what they behave like that. And we kind of behave like, sure, did you ever see your dad and his knee gas? Like that, you know, kind of like Young Hot Guys podcast, things like that. But I've resisted being one of them people who does things. And I think I need to become an outsider more. I don't know how to, not like The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton, sexually charged young people's fiction. Not that one. We well discussed on this podcast.
Yeah.
But sorry, it's just so horny. Not that. But I think I need to do mad stuff.
You should do mad stuff, but
Just hang out
Shane,
with me.
I can't tolerate you if you start believing that if both of you, if we start believing that what we do is important, I think that might be the end. Of
I
this
don't
whole
think
thing.
it's important, but I want to just be more. Maybe I see Killian every day now, and I'm wondering, is that part of it? Because Killian, you were talking the other day about you cycled to Wexford when you got Killian made a fixie bike himself, and then cycled to Wexford, and then DOD, David O Doherty, who is a cycling aficionado, was like, "That's the worst idea ever." Kind of fixie.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, and I was like, years ago, because my parents have mobile home in Wexford as well, and for years I wanted to go and cycle to that mobile home, but I never did it. And I went, remember I bought cycling shorts, I bought things, and I still never did it. And I was like, I want some of that Killian action of like, I'm going to go and do that, and I'm going to do it.
It does like feel so much like a Fringe show already.
I was just about to say that. Even that line, I was like, is this the start of your next year's show?
I suppose it was out there, it was in the south of Ireland on the coast, and I always said I'm going to cycle there, but I never did it. So this year, I decided to buy a bike.
The audience erupts in cheers. Goes,
I
wow,
need to go. I need
we're
to
going to
get
hear a
away from
deeply boring
everything.
personal memoir. Wow.
And I suppose I realized that it wasn't the cycling. It was who was cycling. It was my dad was there with me. My dad. He was there.
I had realised that my heart was split in two, but in a good way. Half was my dad and half was my mum. And I was both of them. And I didn't need to cycle, actually. So it was all good. And I didn't have to do that.
And I just had a cup of tea.
And
I picked up my kids. Just
took off the Groucho, took off the big anorak, the Macintosh. I got the big wig off. I walked home and I picked up my kids from the childminder. I said, I'm going to look after them now.
Yeah.
I'm going to look after them.
Daddy's home. Daddy's home. And so is Mammy.
Daddy's Home by Shane Daniel Byrne. The worst show in the history of the Edinburgh Fringe. 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Who don't normally review Fringe shows.
Got arrested for terrorism after the show.
Well, look, I think that beautiful recap of all the things we've talked about is probably a good way to end this particular episode. But you guys are performing at the moment, is that right?
Yes, we are here at the Edinburgh Fringe. My show, Daddy's Home 2, is every day at 5:30 in Underbelly. We are selling it all over the shop, so get tickets in advance if you can. But Shane and Tony, you guys also are doing things as well.
That's right. I'm doing my show, Daddy's Home 1, and that is on every day at 5:30, at 7 o'clock. If someone could come from the past, my sales are quite low today because it's a Monday. So if somebody could come through time and buy some tickets for today, that would be great, because I'm after been sold out there the last few days, and now I have to go and do a boring one with only a few people. So
well, maybe after you get onto the Inception lads, you can get onto the Tenet boys, and maybe they can kind of do a temporal pincer movement and buy some tickets in the past.
Okay. Thank you very much.
That'd be good.
Tony, what's up with you, babe?
Well, I'm going to be in the Dublin Fringe because I simply can't leave my kids. It's too important. Be performing Daddy's Hiding in the Dublin Fringe. That's not Daddy, in parentheses. And that will be on from the 12th of September until the 15th. And I'd love to see you there.
Vielen Dank. Alles Liebe. Tschüss.
Tschüss.
Tschüss. Bye.
Bye.
They're attractive.
They're very attractive.
Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy. It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.
Killian Sundermann!